Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 14th of July. Okay, so before we get on and look at the technicals, let's look at the fundamental situation and bring this up. Click over to, no, we don't want that one, we want that one. Okay, so where we are, Friday the 14th. What we got today then, French bank holiday, got good sense in France. Aside of that, we've got nothing until 3 p.m. on here. Now I'm just looking through, and I should point out I look at another news service here, Financial Juice, which I send another service. It's calendar that I look at, as well as the service that comes through with it. And generally, we got more. Generally, it shows me about the speakers that are coming out. Where we got the European financial meetings going on today, so we might get something coming from that, but it's nothing. There's no scheduled speakers coming out today, so all should be quite reasonable. Now we're already seeing it this morning. We've seen the euro come off a tad. It has literally gone up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row here, 6 positive days. Wouldn't be a shock to see it hold back here on today. News yesterday, the should have mentioned that first actually, the PPI news came in a little bit weak. The jobs report came in a little bit more positive. Overall, I don't think it will change the track of what the Feds are doing, the news yesterday. However, it was erring on the more bullish side for the US dollar. Right, so, sorry, partial bearish side for the US dollar, I should have said. It was mixed. Anyway, what's going to happen with this euro today? Well, that's anyone's guess. It is running towards its daily pivot. Be interesting to see if it catches a bit of a bounce up from that. With the trend it's had, we could be seeing it run back towards its R1 as a possibility. So it's a wait and see. The pound is a similar picture. So we know what's been going on here. The pound's pushed through. It's one of the stronger stronger currencies out there against the dollar, and it's been having a good old time there. US dollar yen, well, it's almost back. It already ran down to its S1, S2. Very little movement yesterday, quite consolidated for the majority of the day there. So the pivots today very pinched and probably less effective in terms of providing support and resistance. Having said that, the S2 is not done too bad, but it isn't a decent downward trend. We'll see what happens though. As I say, I do wonder, with so many days of the dollar being sold, whether we might just see it bought a little bit more, which might give us some deeper retracements to play from for next week. Aussie dollar, the Aussie dollar here at the moment back into its prior highs here, having a reaction to those at the moment. I did wonder yesterday whether it would come off a little bit more, but it is coming off. It's side by side bars choppy. It would have looked okay at one stage. Consolidation across the highs there, but just coming off towards again its daily pivot. Don't like this as much as the others. In terms of the euro in particularly, I prefer, but if it does come back down, we'll see where it runs through to. Canadian dollar had quite a big correction there on the hourlies last hour, but has again been solidly pushing down there. Really decent moves, lower highs, lower lows on the weekly basis, absolutely solid. And you can see how it's done daily wise. It obviously isn't a solid trend. However, you get so many days down, you might get just might break things, but again, very close to the pivots. Let's see what happens this morning. If they start running through the pivots, well, I just stand aside. I want to be trading in direction. Don't want to be trading against these moves. New Zealand dollar pretty similar. It's having its reaction off its highs here, so similar to the Aussie. In fact, this did actually push up a little bit further through the Asian session before taking its dive at the moment. Euro yen pair, Oh, sorry, I don't look at the Swissy too much, and I do appreciate people do trade it. Normally they go long on it for some reason. I'm still scratching my head why 90% of traders with IG at the moment are long on it. In fact, I'm not too sure if they're still 90%. Let's have a quick look. You have to look at this and think, why oh why? But oops, wrong one. There we go. Let's just refresh this. Brokers, IG. Okay, it's dropped down to about 88% of traders buying the dollar Swiss. Oh, okay, they'll be right at some point. See this all the time. People want to just go against what's actually happening there. Why? Anyway, we've looked at it. I've had my groan. Of course, someone's going to be right and make a killing, having been lost, but they won't remind you of all the losses they made on the way to make the killing, which they haven't covered by the killing. Euro yen, looking a tad more like it's changed structure here. We've got higher lows coming through on the lower time frames in particularly. It does just look like it's got more upside potential. So already hit the S1, R1 as well. It's only a 20% probability of both being hit in one day normally. However, there's a 20% chance it will be hit, so it might run up there. It's already had a sort of a decent move here at the moment, but we'll see how things develop there. But looking a little bit more bullish, even though when you come down the time frame or up the time frames, it's mixed here. To me, it was looking rather bearish until well, you had a bear flag basically. Just looking at the 2 o'clock in the morning jobby there that kicked out. That would have kicked a few people in the trade. But you look at the upper time frame, the dailies, and it's only just bouncing off its 34. It's back above the pivot. It's more bullish. So a bit of a mixed bag through the three periods I look at there. I'll leave it up to you. As I say, it's starting to look a bit more bullish on the owlies. Euro yen. Just for observation more than anything else, look at the chop on that. That's all I can say. And my Euro Aussie, well, this is coming off the list. It's broken the low of the shoulder there. It's no longer, for me, a tradable head and shoulders. It probably means it's going to go the complete other way. As I said, it's beautiful setup, but failed to materialise. He'll probably go all the way other way. I mean, there is now, you've got this high low, so it is trading in this range, and arguably it's to the upside, so it could still be traded purely on the range of the position here. So again, it's failed on one way, but looking like it's got potential on the other. I'll leave my signal up there. Euro against the CAD, one of my favourites, just really not doing a great deal. It's sort of just gone, and often, and well, yes, that was a news day, choppy old day yesterday, looking solid this morning. We'll see how this develops. With the pivot, see how tight the pivots are pinched relative to the previous, although we've gone through phases of it. Still biased towards the upside when you look at what's going on here. You see it here in terms of what's going. So oops, wrong one. There we go. So could see a continuation on this. Can just be a bit lazy in the mornings. Aussie New Zealand, I'm still short on this. Stop is down at this point here. If I'd been awake, I'd have moved the stop down to here, and I might still track the stop down. It is a swing position. My temptation is just to leave it where it is. The trouble with being a day trader, and then you sort of start looking at swing trades or whatever else, is you over tighten things. When you look at this from a 4-hourly perspective, yeah, it does look okay in terms of tracking something down there, but let's just see if we can let it do what I'm expecting it to do, and push on downwards. Right, that's that. So that's the currencies at the moment, as I can see, and not a great deal tradable there for now. Indices wise, he says, let's just look at gold first. So gold having a little blip yesterday, tiny day. I mean, we saw the euro and etc. pushing and stretching its legs yesterday. Tiny old day in gold, which didn't bode particularly well for it. It's dropping back again. Are we going to see this sold the most if it rolls over? It's a possibility. Triple top up there. You'd have thought, if anything, that well, you thought with the 3 taps, the 4th tap or the 3rd tap might have done it, but it just can't get through that quarterly pivot, and it's looking soft. Break of these lows here could see an equal throw to the downside, so we'll see how things run on that. Right, equity markets, a bit mixed this morning at the close here. It's just there we go. So SCSI 300 did pop and drop, popped up and dropped a little bit, still in a weak zone, but as I said before, it's in that wedge, and they can go wedge, and it could go either way really. They're not particularly great statistics on those. The CSI 300, sorry, see, I'm going the wrong way, pressing the wrong buttons here this morning. Okay, the Nikkei, well, double tops, it's popped and dropped as well, but it just flew up there a little bit, dropped back down again, closed its gap, and looking less pretty underneath this pivot here. Do wonder if we'll see a bit of a continuation to the downside. Break of the lows would be bearish for me. Break of the lows of today's trading, this morning's trading, would be bearish next week. Nifty 50, this has been pushing on and pushing on. It pops up there, drops down, pops up, drops down, popped and drops up again at the moment, but still holding and consolidating around its highs. Still looking like it's got some potential. The Aussie 200 continuing to push up on the more positive steps taken by China as well, and other Asian countries there trying to get stimulus of their economies. So that's still trying to push up there. It's got scope to push back up to its prior highs the way it's moved now. It's broken out of its channel. There was a taking the top line here to the bottom line here. There was a channel it was in. You could be looking for a one-to-one move on that, which could see it break past these highs. S&P's just a bit soft this morning, just coming off a little bit, but again a good 4 days up there. Things might change again later on. It's too early in the day to make any judgments on this market. It still looks pretty bullish, just coming down the time frames. I never like it when it does these little spikes and sells off and gives this consolidation away from the highs. It never looks particularly pretty, but it hasn't caught the pivot yet. It's a bit like the euro and the pound. You look at these markets sometimes and they're so correlated. We could see a test of the pivot there and a break later on today, but just something to watch out for. Dow Jones just in its range, high low, high low, high, looking like it could be working back south again. Nasdaq pushing out there quite solidly. Tech stocks, maybe helped by other things outside of its remit, but anyway, pushing up solidly there. It's off a bit this morning, but to me it just looks solid. Has run into its R1, so it may just get some resistance, or it's seen a bit of resistance, but these markets move, and Nasdaq could be a flyer as well. And it's all positive for those people that are trying to short all these markets. You're crazy. Join the 85% that lose trading. The DAX saw some upside for it yesterday, just come down the time frames. It has pushed on and beyond its quarterly pivot there. It's more positive area. Didn't ever get back to its pivot there. Solid morning, bullish engulfing continuation bar effectively there, and it spent the rest of the morning pushing up. Hit the R1 first, just came short of the R2, but positive. Again, like the currencies, it's just running down towards its pivot at the moment. Be interesting to see. I mean, it's a flag of sorts. It'd be interesting to see if we get another drive up during the day there. Okay, I guess I better go and look at the cryptos, because there'll be a few people saying to me, "You didn't look at Ripple." I'm not going to. He's joking. So Bitcoin on the dailies here, although it got a bit of buzz with Ripple yesterday, it's on the give back at the moment. These markets, I know a lot of you trade them or look at them a lot, and some may just invest and buy the coins on a sort of buy to hold basis, which may be the safest bet. Trading them, though, is a bit of a mug's game because you get so drawn into it. But that's my thought on things. If you're really making a lot of money, that's great. If you're scratching along on these currencies, they're so fickle, with the whales coming in there causing movements. Occasionally you're going to get some decent movements when you get a lawsuit sorted, but yeah, okay. Chainlink's working okay. Technically, it's fine, and it's a go with at the moment. Litecoin, really not doing a great deal here. Again, yesterday, everything had. If it didn't make a move up yesterday, it never would do. And of course, I best comes to Ripple. So I'll let you admire that for a moment. Yep, it's had a great time, but look, it's not really seen a follow through yet this morning. Will it? Possibly. Has it overdone itself? Maybe. A bit of a mixed old bag there, but there was no surprise that when the law, it's only part, I understand, of the case has been settled. It will make a move. There is possibility. Did you miss out on this? Well, just imagine if you've been buying it thinking it's going to go up and it goes down the same way the other way, and you're trying to get a feel to get out of it. There'll be people that were trying to buy into this yesterday, and I'm sure with the very slow feels often, and the fact that no one really wants to sell it at that point, you'd have been gapped massively in your position. So a lot of people wouldn't have made as much as it looks there by the time they got in. And what is this all about? It's a bit of excitement, isn't it? We don't trade markets to be excited. So lots of buzz about it, but you're thinking the wrong way if you're buzzing about a market. Just look at them very black and white. That's the only way to look at them. This is what drives people into Bitcoin and cryptos and things like this. Bitcoin itself may be safer. It's got a bit more safety behind it in some respects. Some of these others, well, we've seen it for months and months going sideward. Anyway, I'll get off my wooden box. I know a lot of you like crypto. There's nothing wrong with it, and I'm sure you can make some money out of it. But if you think 85% loss on currencies and some of the equity markets is big, I can assure you it's a bigger figure on the crypto markets. Anyway, I will leave it there on that cheerful note. I'm not suggesting you don't trade it, it's just how you trade things. Right, I wish you a great weekend and good luck over the weekend on these cryptos, and we'll catch you Monday.